we are tasked with implementing a national innovation strategy, and that covers 6 broad areas. So firstly, we're looking at education, how to try and help to cultivate a thinking culture. We have various programs there. We have programs for our schools looking at bringing high order thinking. Second area is looking at social innovation, how the public and the private sector can come together to support the social sector. The third area is looking at industry academia collaboration, where we try to foster greater collaboration between industry and academia. And then the fourth area is looking at transforming strategic sectors, which is identifying strategic sectors in the economy and looking at what new wealth creation opportunities there are for us as a country. And the fifth area is looking at innovating organizations. So it's looking at how we can help the private sector. And finally, in the sixth area is looking at catalyzing commercialization, which is basically looking at how we can increase the rate of commercialization of intellectual property and research that's coming out from the research community. We see many potential applications for geospatial technologies. The potential impact is very wide-ranging, from how you look at land public transport to the insurance industry. Take the insurance industry, for example. We're going to see a lot of changes when next year in Malaysia, for the first time, we're going to see a shift from how insurance is regulated, based on purely based on tariffs to looking more at what it should be, a risk-based approach. And that's going to involve a lot of changes in the way insurance is assessed. So geospatial technology, to me, is going to play a big role in that. Also, in one of our own programs, we've developed a national biomass strategy. And again, geospatial technology is going to play a role in that. Looking at where all the various forms of biomass is being generated in the country, and how we're going to capitalize on those opportunities to create new downstream industries. In Malaysia, we're seeing a lot of activity in the space of healthcare, and of course in the E&E industry. There is potential as well there for new innovations. First of all, the National Corporate Innovation Index was developed not so much with the intention of ranking companies now. What we did was when we started this program, it was to create more awareness that companies need to look at specific areas when in developing their own innovation strategy. Our intention is in the long term, yes, we will have a corporate innovation index where companies will be ranked, but that's not the intention now. In times of crisis, there's always opportunity. And I believe, when you talk about opportunities, particularly for the SMEs and the medium-sized companies, there are a lot of opportunities to embrace innovation. And one of the things that Platform does is also facilitate licensing of intellectual property coming out from our universities and research institutes. And these are where the opportunities are. There's billions of ringgit of government funding that has gone in to fund research in various areas. And a lot of the time, this research results in IPs that have potential. And what needs to happen is for these IPs to find its way to the market through partnerships with commercialization partners from the SMEs. And so these are the kinds of opportunities SMEs have. The reason AIM was set up just for a very specific time frame was to really try and accelerate the pace of change and implementing what we defined as our national innovation strategy. And the way we have started our programs, some things will carry on naturally on their own, possibly by having the relevant government ministry or agency continue with those programs. For example, the mid-tier company program is actually being implemented by Martrade. And we have our graphene action plan, which is being implemented by Nano Malaysia. But there are also some of the initiatives that we have will also continue on their own. For example, Genovasi was set up as a design thinking school. For industry academic collaboration, we have Steinbeis, which is set up as a non-profit foundation. And Platcom as well is set up as a company, the commercialization platform, which is providing services for commercialization. So these things will continue on their own without the need for government funding and support. So at the end of the day, a lot of things, when you talk about innovation, a lot of these things need to be driven by the private sector as well. And so, what we hope to see by the time 2020 comes is a lot of these things are thriving on their own.